Welcome back to Keys to the House. I'm your host this week, Diane Weber. This podcast is your behind-the-scenes look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of home buying, selling, and building. We're here to provide you an unfiltered view for anyone that's looking to buy a home, build a home, sell a home, or just gain more knowledge on real estate in general. On today's episode, we have Rick Grubb and his fiancé, Amanda. And for those of you who listened last week, Rick was on and we talked about the design of his house and how Rick has no style. So we decided to bring in the actual person who did design the house, Amanda. How's it going today, guys?
Good. How are you?
So Amanda, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
So first thing I want to ask is, what was your experience building a new customized Allendale plan with Jerry's Homes?
My experience was great. We worked very closely with the team here, the design manager and the in-house drafter. We went through a couple of renditions of the plan. They were very patient with me. Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah.
What did you like best about building a home?
Oh, all the customization you can do. You can really make it feel like your own. You can tweak everything from your door, you don't even think about like your paneled front door or your hardware everywhere or just everything, the size of your trim, the windows especially, everything, lighting, plumbing.
So when you were building your home, did you go to other vendors to look at items? Where did you make all your selections?
Yeah, so I think it originally had started here in the Jerry showroom and then moved from there and just decided I wanted to see a few more options. And so I visited with all of the Jerry's vendors. I actually had the opportunity to bring in my own vendor for a couple pieces, which was amazing. And I worked very closely with all those tradespeople. It was outstanding, and you could view samples and take samples and put things together. And it was great. So definitely sometimes drove in circles, but it was great.
Do you feel like it was really overwhelming with the amount of selections, or did you kind of know what path you wanted to go down?
I think I knew what path I wanted to go down, but I do have to say that the number of people that I spoke with in each, whether it was Stonehouse for the countertops or Doll Tile or Gilcrest or any of those, the people that I worked with there directly were so insanely knowledgeable and helpful that they could help direct me, and I could say I'm thinking of this or I'm envisioning this, and they'd move me this direction, and it was great.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So I've been inside your house and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. There's so many different unique elements that I would never have thought to put in an Allendale plan.
Yeah.
So kind of define for us your style and where do you get your inspiration?
Yeah.
And, where do you come up with some of the ideas you had? I mean, I would have never have painted a bathroom black, but oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It turned out so well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think if you see our home, you'll kind of see this juxtaposition between maybe this old kind of feel. I wanted the exterior to have this old South of Grand feel. And then I wanted a very clean, organic, modern interior. Yep. So I tried to kind of balance both of those things. And then the black paint, I wanted somewhere in the basement to feel a little bit more grounded and to feel warm and that you're down there hanging out, and did the exposed stone down there, which I think really helped bring in just this older kind of feel to everything. So just really wanted to marry both of those kind of design styles.
Okay. What's the favorite part about your home?
I was thinking about this, and it's really difficult to decide. But the big windows in the back, those custom windows we did in the very back, probably is one of my favorite things because you can look at those every day, all day long. And then the detailed trim work we added, probably, which I think makes it different from another builder home.
I love your master shower and all of your lighting choices. They're just so unique. I was like, oh.
Thank you.
It's
yes,
very, very pretty.
I probably spent the most time on lighting.
Oh, I bet.
Hours, files. I have files and files and files. Each room had its own file, and I saved all sorts of clips and pieces of it, and then flipped through and made mood boards. And
oh my goodness, how much input did Rick actually have in this house?
I think
none. I picked out a Smeg fridge.
I think more than he's giving himself credit for. And I think maybe our design styles maybe just blended really nicely. So there was never that, I guess there really wasn't really any arguing about what should or shouldn't be anywhere. But I can't say, we laid everything out together and approved it together. Or I guess I laid out my selections and got his seal of approval.
I was just going to say, if there was any argument, who actually won the argument?
Me.
Of course, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So Amanda, what are your words of wisdom to anybody who wants to build a custom home?
I think one thing I didn't anticipate is the amount of time I invested. I didn't anticipate all of that. So if you want to go in and do a full custom home and you want to make all of these selections, anticipate that you need to be very detail oriented and to have a good vision of what you want to reduce the time it takes to get your vision out on paper. Because it can take a long time to get it all there, how you want it to be.
So for any of you who want to see Amanda's style in the inside of her house, check out her Instagram page at The Hider Creative. Amanda, tell us what projects you have going on, because you do a little interior design, right?
Yeah, a few things. We have a couple projects in the works. I'm doing a couple residential renovation projects. I have one big kitchen, and then helping a guy renovate his old fireplace. He just bought an existing West Des Moines home and wants it to look a little bit more modern, so we're going to see what we can do to update that. And then we have just taken on a lake cottage renovation, which will be very fun, and I'm sure create all sorts of new fun challenges we can figure out.
What kind of style is going to go in this lake house?
The lake house is going to be,
beachy, or is it going to be farmhousey?
Somewhere in between, but pretty. I want to keep it pretty earthy, and I want to bring in deep blues of obviously the water, and then also some deep greens, and see what I can do to bring in warmer wood tones. There is some existing wood paneling we're going to try to leave and maybe strip that down, but stain it a little darker and make it, you want it to be lake authentic, but also have some warmth to it.
Bring it out of the 80s.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks for joining us today for Keys to the House. If you have any other questions, comments, or topics that you'd like to learn more about, shoot us a message at info@jerryshomes.com. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks, everyone.